Well, India delivered a serious warning to BRICS nations over the growing instability in West Asia, specifically around the Strait of Hormuz and the Red Sea. And you know what? The message that was clear. If maritime routes become unstable, the global economy itself could face major disruption. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking at the BRICS Foreign Ministers Gathering, Mr. S. Jaishankar, India's External Affairs Minister, warned that safe and uninterrupted shipping through international waters is very important for global economic stability. Now, without directly naming any country though, Mr. Jaishankar, he stressed that sovereignty, territorial integrity, diplomacy and dialogue must remain central to international relationship here. Now, this may sound a little diplomatic and measured though, but look carefully. Beneath the language, there was a major geopolitical concern. Because let's be honest here, the Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important oil transit route in the world. Nearly 1/5 of the global oil passes through this narrow passage every single day. If tension involving Iran escalates further, the shipping gets disrupted, energy prices could surge, and globally, it is going to be a nightmare. And India, we do understand that risk very clearly. India imports a huge portion of its energy need. Any disruption in oil flow, it directly impacts the fuel price, inflation, transport costs, and economic growth. And that is why India has been extremely careful in balancing relationship across West Asia, while consistently calling for de-escalation. But you know what? This BRICS meeting also exposed growing internal tension inside the bloc itself. Reports suggest that there were sharp disagreements that emerged between Iran and the UAE over allegations involving the attacks on energy infrastructure. In fact, tensions reportedly became so heated during discussions that Russian Foreign Minister Mr. Lavrov, he had to intervene to calm the atmosphere. That tells you something important here. Even countries sitting at the same diplomatic table may have deeply conflicting interests underneath. In the meantime, Iran used the whole meeting to strongly criticize the US and Israel, accusing them of aggression and calling on BRICS nations to condemn Western action. In the meantime, countries like the UAE, they are trying to balance the security concern, economic stability and diplomatic relations with multiple powers. India found itself very carefully navigating between all those competing pressure. And let's be honest here, that balancing act matters because BRICS itself is changing rapidly. Originally formed by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the group has now expanded significantly to include countries like Iran and the UAE. Now, that expansion gives BRICS greater global influence, but it also creates more internal contradictions and rivalries. In the end, Mr. S. Jaishankar's message tonight, it was essentially this: global stability cannot survive if maritime trade route becomes weaponized. Because in today's interconnected world, a crisis in one region quickly becomes an economic shock everywhere else. And for countries like India, stability in West Asia is not optional. It is directly tied to the national economic interest.